Hey team, and today's episode on Cheap to Chic, we are going to be making chocolate pudding, and it's 2-ingredient chocolate pudding. And our 2-ingredient chocolate pudding is a can of coconut milk that you can find for $1.25. It's Fruit Tropic, and you can find this at the dollar store. What you want to do with this can of milk is put this into the refrigerator and let it chill for 24 hours, just so that it's nice and cool, so that when we go ahead and make it into whipped cream, it'll be able to form nice, stiff peaks because it's very, very chilled. So we're going to chill this for 24 hours. Once we have chilled that for 24 hours, we're going to go ahead, pop it out of the can, pour it into your mixer. Now your mixing bowl and your mixer or your utensils, you want to make sure that you are freezing them. Make sure that you freeze your utensils and your items that you are using for your whipped cream about 20 minutes, just so that it's nice and cool as well. So after we have gone and cooled our metal utensils to make our whipped cream, we'll go ahead and put this into the bowl and we will whip it like this. So we have our coconut milk already put in here, and what we're going to do is we are going to start on medium-low speed for about 1 to 2 minutes. Then we're going to increase it to a high speed until semi-stiff peaks begin to form, or the coconut milk has a pudding-like texture, okay? So this basically might take about 5 to 10 minutes tops in our mixer. So let's get that started now. So we'll put the on medium. Once we have whipped it and it has really firm peaks, it might take longer than regular whipped cream. Now this is dairy-free, remember, so we're using coconut milk. So it's going to take a little bit longer to form them. It took about, I would say, literally 20 minutes to make sure that it was actually a consistency of a mousse texture or like whipped cream. You could add sugar to this 2-ingredient chocolate pudding. However, there is sugar in the chocolate bars that we are using. So I'm gonna suggest that you go ahead and melt down 6 of these if you like it a little sweet but not too sweet. If you like your chocolate pudding a little bit sweeter, I would recommend adding 8 of these bars. So we're gonna get Hershey creamy milk chocolate bars, and we're gonna go ahead and melt those down. And to melt those down to make sure that we are not burning our chocolate is we are going to double boil it. And that will make sure that we never burn our chocolate. And that's basically by just taking a pan that's in water, heating up the water till boiling point, and putting a bowl over top of it so that the milk chocolate could go ahead and melt into the bowl without actually burning it. You'll see just right here how I did mine. We're doing a double boiler, and just as a double boiler, so you can see it's just water and it's on a bowl, and we have put our 6 bars of Hershey chocolate from the dollar store in here, and we are just letting this melt down to a consistency that we can actually put it into our whipped cream that we are going to make from our can of coconut milk. Also, the great thing about this is that I don't mind putting chocolate on low on a saucepan, but I really do not want burnt chocolate or a burnt taste. So this method eliminates chocolate from burning. So this is the best method that I prefer. Also a microwave, you can do this, on high at 60 and then just go ahead and mix it. But I prefer doing this myself. So once that has been done, you have your melt chocolate. It's not too hot and it's not too cool. So once you notice that your melt chocolate is pretty much melted, you want to take it off the broiler and you kind of want to continue to mix it just so you can get some air to flow into that chocolate to cool that mixture down a bit. Now, when we do add the chocolate mixture, you want to make sure that it's not too cold and it's not too hot, because if it's too cold, it'll harden up and it'll give like the granulated taste to our chocolate mousse, but we don't want that. We want it really silky smooth. So I suggest that you kind of do it into like a medium to almost a cold, so just enough to dip your finger in. It's a little bit warm, but not too warm that it's just dripping. And that would be the consistency that we would go ahead and pour our chocolate mixture into our stiff peaks that we have formed with our coconut milk. We want to give that a stir about 1 to 2 minutes on a medium setting. After 1 to 2 minutes, we want to go ahead and put it on high for another 5 minutes or so. Now you're going to notice that the consistency is going to be a little bit runny, not too liquefied, not too thick, but it's going to have a little bit of consistency where it hasn't firmed yet. And that's okay, guys, because the coconut milk and the chocolate will firm up again. Once we have mixed our chocolate and our coconut milk whipped cream, we will go ahead and then pour it into 4 glass jars or 4 ramekins or 4, glass cups. Then we'll go ahead and place saran wrap over top so that you don't get a thick skin. You don't want that forming. So immediately after you do pour your mixture into your ramekins or into your glass jars, you want to cover them with saran wrap and put into the chiller right away. Now you're going to notice that it will form condensation on the top of the saran wrap, but that's okay. It's not going to drop into your pudding, and it won't make it runny either. Also, if you're really crunched for time and you're like, oh my god, like this has to thicken, it typically takes 30 minutes within the refrigerator to an hour to actually set. You can put them in the freezer right away from pouring. That takes about 20 to 30 minutes tops to actually set and firm to a nice consistency of a nice silky mousse that you will get out of these 2 dollarama items. In total, I want you to know that I use 6, to be honest with you. I don't like it too sweet. My suggestion is to go 6 or higher, and it came to $6.47 for this pudding to serve 4 people. And relatively, it's handmade, so it's from scratch, and you know that chocolate pudding in store is absolutely great, and it's cheaper, and it kind of tastes a little plasticky. However, if you make it from scratch, it's absolutely really good. I personally would add a tablespoon of confectioner's sugar or, monk sugar or any type of sugar that you have that you want to go ahead and put into your coconut milk, and it just makes it a little bit sweeter so that when you do add your 6 bars, you do have a nice sweet consistency without having so many calories within the dish. So with that being said, guys, and this 2 ingredient chocolate pudding that will serve 4 for a price of $6.25, I hope that you enjoyed this video today. Please please comment and let me know how your pudding turned out, because I absolutely do want to hear from you. And also, please subscribe. I can't say that enough. I really appreciate your support so far. Go ahead and hit that alert button so that you will be able to be the first person to watch my newest video. You will be getting the notification right away. With that being said, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next video.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me.